Welcome to Cartone Lane. Bella Villa was a happy place. It was full of smiles and sunshine, but the most wonderful part of Bella Villa was Cartone Lane. On Cartone Lane, the houses were made of cardboard. Yes, cardboard. Big, colourful cardboard boxes all stacked up high. There were red houses with yellow windows. There were blue houses with green doors. Some houses even had polka dots. The people of Cartone Lane loved to paint their cardboard homes. They used every colour imaginable. The sun shone brightly on Cartone Lane, making the colours dance. It was a happy, sunny street, just waiting for an adventure to begin. And oh, what an adventure it would be. Luca lived in a bright orange house on Cartone Lane. He was a small boy with a big imagination. Luca loved to build things. His favourite thing to build with was cardboard. He found scraps of cardboard everywhere. Big scraps, small scraps. Luca loved them all.
I can build anything with cardboard.
Luca used the cardboard to build amazing things. He built towering castles and mighty robots. He built sleek racing cars and playful puppies. Luca's cardboard creations filled his room and spilled out into the yard. Luca's imagination had no limits. He spent his days lost in a world of cardboard and dreams. He pretended his creations were real. He wished with all his heart that his cardboard creations could come to life. Little did he know his wish was about to come true. One day, Luca was playing in his cardboard castle. He was a brave knight defending his fortress from a fearsome dragon, also made of cardboard, of course. As he played, Luca discovered a secret door in the back of his castle. Curious, Luca opened the door. Inside, he found a small wooden chest. The chest was dusty and old, but it had a beautiful carving on the top. It was a picture of a book with swirling smoke rising from its pages. Luca carefully lifted the lid of the chest.
What could be inside?
Inside the chest lay a book. It was bound in dark leather and had silver clasps. When Luca touched the book, the clasps unfastened themselves. The book fell open, and Luca gasped. The pages were filled with strange symbols and swirling writing. He couldn't read the words, but he felt a strange energy thrumming from the pages. This was no ordinary book. This was the Book of Whispers. Luca carefully lifted the Book of Whispers. As he did, a single word flew off the page and hung in the air. It shimmered, glowing with a soft light. Luca watched in amazement. He recognized the word. It was roar.
Roar, what does that mean?
Suddenly, Luca's cardboard dragon, the one he had been battling moments earlier, shook its head. Its cardboard scales rattled. Then it opened its mouth wide and let out a tremendous roar. But this wasn't the sound of Luca pretending. This was a real roar, loud and echoing. Luca stared in awe as his cardboard dragon blinked its big yellow eyes. It lumbered to its feet, its cardboard wings unfolding. It was alive. The Book of Whispers had brought Luca's creation to life. S3, roar!
It's alive. My dragon is alive.
And so the adventure on Cartone Lane truly began. From that day forward, Luca's life was filled with magic. He spent hours in his yard, the Book of Whispers in hand. One by one, he brought his cardboard creations to life.
The racing car zoomed around the yard, its engine sputtering cheerfully. The playful puppy wagged its tail and barked with joy.
The Book of Whispers held endless possibilities. With a touch and a whispered word, Luca's imagination became reality. His yard was no longer just a yard, it was a magical menagerie, filled with the most extraordinary creatures. There were cardboard lions with magnificent manes, cardboard monkeys swinging from the trees, and even a cardboard fish that swam in a pool of painted water.
Wow, look at all the amazing creatures. Luca, your yard is like a dream come true.
News of Luca's magical creation spread throughout Bella Villa. People came from far and wide to see the wondrous creatures on Cartone Lane. Children laughed and played with the cardboard animals. Adults marveled at the magic that filled the air. Luca was a hero, the boy who brought cardboard to life. Not everyone was happy about the magic on Cartone Lane. There was one man, a grumpy old man named Mr. Grump, who lived at the end of the street. Mr. Grump didn't like laughter or joy. He certainly didn't like magic. Mr. Grump grumbled about the noise. He grumbled about the crowds. He grumbled about the cardboard creatures. One day, Mr. Grump decided he'd had enough. He stomped his feet and shook his fist at Luca's yard. S2. It's unnatural. Cardboard is for boxes, not for beasts.
I'll put an end to this nonsense. I'll steal that book and get rid of it once and for all.
And so Mr. Grump hatched a plan, a grumpy, terrible plan to steal the Book of Whispers and return Cartone Lane to its former, less magical self. That night, while the residents of Cartone Lane slept soundly, Mr. Grump crept through the shadows. He snuck into Luca's yard, his heart pounding in his chest. He tiptoed past the sleeping cardboard creatures, their cardboard breaths soft and quiet. Mr. Grump found Luca's window and peered inside. The Book of Whispers lay open on the table, its pages glowing faintly.
There it is, just within reach.
Mr. Grump's eyes gleamed greedily. He reached in, snatched the book and ran back to his house as fast as his old legs could carry him. The next morning, Luca woke to a silent house. He raced outside, his heart sinking with every step. His cardboard friends were still and lifeless. The magic was gone. Then he noticed that the Book of Whispers was missing. Panic surged through him. He knew deep down who had taken it.
Mr. Grump, but why?
Mr. Grump sat in his dark living room, the Book of Whispers clutched tightly in his hands. He tried to close it to make the magic disappear, but the book wouldn't budge. It was as if it was stuck to his hands. Frustrated, Mr. Grump tossed the book on the table. It landed with a loud thump right next to a burning candle. A spark flew from the candle and landed on the book's leather cover. In an instant, the book was engulfed in flames.
No, this can't be happening.
Mr. Grump watched in horror as the fire quickly spread from the book to the curtains and then to the cardboard walls of his house. Soon, his whole house was ablaze. The fire raged, fueled by the dry cardboard, casting an eerie glow over Cartone Lane. The smell of smoke woke Luca. He looked out his window and gasped.
Mr. Grump's house is on fire.
Without hesitation, Luca raced outside and shouted. The residents of Cartone Lane rushed out of their homes, fear etched on their faces. They knew that with their cardboard houses, the fire could quickly spread. Thinking quickly, Luca grabbed his garden hose and aimed it at the flames, but the fire was too strong. They needed more water. Suddenly, Luca remembered his cardboard fish, still animated from the day before. S1, fire, Mr. Grump's house is on fire.
Fishy, I need your help. Can you bring water?
The fish, understanding Luca's plea, flapped its cardboard fins and soared into the air. It flew towards the river at the edge of town and returned moments later, its mouth overflowing with water. Inspired by the fish, the other cardboard creatures sprang into action. The cardboard lion used its strength to push debris out of the way. The cardboard monkeys formed a chain, passing buckets of water from hand to hand. Together, the people and the cardboard creatures worked tirelessly to put out the fire. They fought the flames with courage and determination, their fear replaced by a shared sense of purpose. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the fire was extinguished. Mr. Grump's house was a smouldering ruin, but the rest of Cartone Lane was safe. As the smoke cleared, Mr. Grump emerged from the wreckage, coughing and covered in soot. He hung his head in shame. Luca, his heart filled with compassion, walked up to Mr. Grump and put a hand on his arm. S2, I'm so sorry. I tried to steal the book and I accidentally started the fire. I almost ruined everything.
It's okay, Mr. Grump. We all make mistakes. What matters is that everyone is safe.
Thank you for giving me another chance, Luca. The fire had caused a lot of damage, but the people of Cartone Lane were determined to rebuild. They cleared the debris, sharing tools and offering words of encouragement. Even Mr. Grump, filled with remorse, joined in the effort. He helped to rebuild his own house, this time choosing to paint it a cheerful yellow with bright blue windows. He even helped Luca build a new cardboard dragon, bigger and better than the last.
We're all in this together, Mr. Grump.
As they worked, Mr. Grump discovered that he no longer minded the laughter or the joy. In fact, he found himself smiling along with everyone else. He had learned a valuable lesson about forgiveness, unity, and the importance of a little bit of magic in life. And so Cartone Lane was restored stronger and more united than ever before. The magic of the Book of Whispers might be gone, but a different kind of magic remained. It was the magic of community, forgiveness, and the power of imagination to bring people together. As the sun set on Cartone Lane, casting long shadows and painting the cardboard houses in hues of orange and purple, the residents knew that no matter what challenges came their way, they would face them together. And that in itself was the most magical thing of all.